Yo, what's up, people? I'm sorry this is late. I have had a bunch of shit to do this entire week. Even in the weekend, I wasn't able to watch the episode. By the way, this Legend of Korra episode number 4 review. I just barely got finished watching it today. It's just been horrible for me. Hopefully, I'll be able to come out with episode 5 on Saturday when it comes out, and I have to deal with this bullshit again. So, anyways, let's get to the episode review, right? So we start out. Um, Let me just say that the opening, I hate what they did to it. They shortened it so much to where it's only like a 5-second clip, and all they say is the same shit we've heard. Like it's obvious already. Like we've heard it so many times. It's like already stuck in our heads. The whole Avatar, only person, master 4 elements, and keeps the balance of the world. We already know this. Why are you just... That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear something about Korra. Like, because remember, in the previous series, they talked about Aang. Like, in the opening, they said stuff about Aang. Well, why can't you say stuff about Korra in this one? I want to know more about her. Obviously they're going to bring something up about her past in the future episodes. Hopefully, I'm hoping they do. But I want to see some of it in the opening too, because that's something the opening should do. They should attach you to the character. That's just what I think. They also did a little review of last week's episode. And the announcer of the Pro Bending's the one that did it. But I mean, it was okay. I mean, I guess seeing that again to tie into what's gonna happen in this episode. Then we actually get into the episode and we find out that Korra has a nightmare. So we obviously already know that she's afraid of Amon. It's legit already. Like, she's freaked out. And the nightmare shows up with her being ambushed in her room and Amon taking her powers away. And I've noticed this, and I want you guys, I would like you to comment on it. Does it seem that Korra is using firebending more than her waterbending? She's from the water tribe. Why isn't she using firebending? I mean, why is she using firebending so much? Waterbending is supposed to be her main element. I just find that weird. In every episode, as of now, she's used firebending more than any of the other 2 that she has. She hasn't mastered air yet. But she uses fire more than water and earth. I just found that weird. Anyways, that was just a little sidetrack thing. Then we find we find out who was in the council of the city. Tenzin's one of them, obviously. And there was an earthbender, a firebender, and 2 waterbenders, I guess. I think it was 2 waterbenders. One of them's his name's Tarlok, who proposes a task force to go after Amon. He's like, oh, Amon's such an evil person. We need to get him now before he does any damage. Of course, Tenzin denies it, and he's like, no, we can't do this. And I agree with him, because what Tenzin says is that it would bring even more chaos to the revolution. Like, you build a task force to take out Amon, they're just gonna think, oh, see, benders are being controlling, so we need to take him out sooner, and it just make a huge old mess. Unfortunately, this passes because he goes on he's a political person, so he's good at lying, right? He's good at convincing people, and he says, well, you know what? If we don't do this now, he's gonna take the bending away from all our family and friends. What the fuck? Like, he's obviously driving the other council members to vote for it so that they don't have to live in fear of losing their bending. That's fucked up. Then Korra's training, and Amon talks on the radio. She freaks out. Again, we're seeing Korra's afraid of Amon. Which I think is, it makes sense. I mean, this guy's freaky. Like, he's just a dark person. Then we find Mako again, which is the firebender in the Firefetch. Um, and he gets run over by a girl named Asami Sato. Um, yeah, he gets run over by her, and he asks, because she's such a big fan of bending, she asks him on a date to make up for the fact that she ran him over. It wasn't even a car; it was a moped. So it's not like, I mean, it's a moped. Mopeds. I've never been hit by a moped, so I can't really say, but I doubt it would be that damaging. Um, and then we see Korra eating with family, and then Tarlok shows up randomly at their house. And then Tenzin, of course, gets pissed. Um, he asked Korra to join the task force, and I was like, "You're an ass." Like, Avatar, and she denies it. I mean, I knew why. I mean, she's afraid of the fucking guy. But I wanted to see what she would say. Um, when she denies it, she says that she has to focus on her airbending, which makes kind of. I mean, it's a good lie, but Tenzin was shocked too. Um, of course, he doesn't give up. He's an asshole. He like starts sending her gifts. Like every time they're more expensive and more, bigger and fancier and all this stuff. He even sends her a car. What? No, after she keeps denying it. She's like, no, 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 no. Then we actually get to see Mako at the restaurant he was supposed to eat at, and since he's poor, he doesn't have this fancy outfits, stuff like that. So when he gets there, she had somebody there waiting for him to give him a spare change of clothes to make him look better. Of course, he keeps a scarf, and we find out later why he is attached to the scarf. Now I'll bring that up later in the review. And then they eat, obviously, and he tells her about the problems, monetary problems they have, and why they can't join the tournament. She obviously goes, "Oh, I'll have a plan. I'll do something for you guys." Then Bolin goes to see Korra and gives her a gift, thanking her for saving his life, and she's like, "Oh, okay, that's not a problem." That's when we actually get to see him we get to see a messenger start giving Korra gifts, and it was repetitive, right? And then we get introduced to the Sato Mobile, like those cars. They're actually called the Sato Mobile, and were made by a man named I have written down here, Satoshi Sato, who created these thanks to, he had an idea, and thanks to a man, he was able to get the investment to build on this idea, and now he's the richest. No, not the richest. The creator of the most used vehicle in Republic City. And he decides to sponsor the Fire Ferrets in pro bending, which I think was pretty cool. This is when I actually found out what the monetary value in this series is, and that they're called yuans. So now that I know that, I will not forget later on. But yeah, they're yuans, and that's when they are, he's happy now because he's got a sponsor. They can join the tournament that they've been so desperate to join and have no money for it. And then the lady who's been bringing the gifts to Korra comes again, and she's just pissed already. Like, no matter what Tarlok sends me, my answer is still no. And like she kind of she spins her around with Earthbend. He's like, no, I don't have a gift this time. It's an invitation. Apparently, he wants to throw a party for Korra. Again, politicians. He's an ass. Yeah, he's an ass. I don't care what anybody says. He's an ass. So they go to the party, and of course, Tarlok takes him away from Tarlok takes Korra away from Tenzin, so they can go do a speech or whatever. And they see Satoshi again. He's with Mako and Bolin and Asami. And Asami's with Mako, and they're with their arms crossing, like, oh, sweet little thing, like they like each other, kind of thing. And then that's when she finds out that they've been sponsored too, but she's not as excited though. I mean, she's dealing with other stuff right now. She can't deal with the probe ending. So we see again Chief Bei Fong, and she's in a pissy mood too. Like, she just not like Korra. Like, at all. Then we get Korra taken to these steps. And there's like reporters, and she's supposed to take questions. And no joke, they literally, like, they were asked, like, you know how reporters are? They're just assholes. They ask you like 50 questions in a row till you don't even know which one to answer. But they were all kind of the same question, and they were driving her insane because she didn't know what to do, because they were like, oh, well, the first question was, do you think Amon is a big threat? She's like, yes, he is. He's a big problem in the city. And then they start bashing her with, well, why aren't you taking action? Why didn't you join the task force? Why didn't you do this? Like, she's freaking out at these random questions. And they're like, are you afraid? Are you afraid? And I mean, seriously, I would have done something different than what she did, because she just flat out said, fine, I'm not afraid. You know what? I'm not afraid of anything. If he wants me to, you want me to join? I'll join. I personally would have used earthbending right there, just like boom, throw them all on the ground, because it's just irritating. I mean, Tarlok is an ass, and this shows it. He did this on purpose. Pissed me off right there. I mean, she was forced to join because of this asshole right here. So they go on their first mission. They're supposed to infiltrate this secret training ground for chi blockers under a library. They succeed. Then we go to a little scene with Mako and Asami in a car. This is when we find out what this scarf means. Apparently, it belonged to his dad, and since his dad is dead, that's what keeps him connected to him. Which I thought was actually a nice meaning to the scarf. Then we get, I mean, Tenzin's still worried about Korra. He's like, what are you doing? Korra and they're supposed to be training again for the Pro Bending League. Korra's not there. Korra's in an interview. She calls out Amon. I know that's brave to do, but we know she's afraid. So that's a trying to hide it thing. So she challenges him on. She calls him out, and she tells him where to go. Apparently, there's a memorial for Avatar Aang. It's a whole island, based for him. Now I think we see him. Yeah, we see it in the opening. That's the only thing we see in the opening. Is his statue and her. But anyways, yeah. So we go to that island. It's this big old building, and then the statue of Aang. She's waiting and waiting and waiting. Midnight comes. She's waiting. He hasn't shown up. She decides to leave, and she gets ambushed. Like, she gets tied up and then dragged inside. And there's all these freaking chi blockers surrounding. Even though she said, Amon, you and me. So I mean, I'm glad it didn't turn out as bad as I was, as expected. It didn't turn out as bad as she was feeling. But I mean, she again firebending. That's all she used. Firebending. Bah, 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 bah. But she ends up getting knocked out, and then we see Amon. We find out he doesn't want to take her powers away yet, because he could do it. He said it. I could take your powers away right now and be done with it. But I know that if I take them away now, there's gonna be a big revolution, and I'm gonna be screwed over. So you're the last one on my list. I'm gonna take you out last. So he has a plan. He's a smart man. Even though he is a dark-ass person, he is a smart man. I will give him that. He has a plan. And I like people with plans. Those are people who are smart. I mean, you can be smart and not have plans, but I'm saying, smart thing to do. And then Korra actually finally admits that she's afraid to Tenzin when he shows up after, she gets knocked out again. and we get an emotional. Like she also, I want to mention there was a flashback, and I saw it was Aang, but I don't like. It was just like this random mixture of pictures, like well not pictures, but scenes. I hope we get, I hope they explain that. Because, I mean, I saw this guy, and then I saw Aang, and he was using airbending against this guy, and I was like, whoa, I'm lost right now. What happened? And then we see Korra, and she sees Tenzin coming. He's like, Aang? Maybe we get the spiritual training now. Yeah! We get to see some spiritual training. We get to see Aang again. So, anyways, that's basically the episode. I gotta say, I liked it. I still like episode number 2 more because it was funny. But this one was better than last week's. I will admit that. It was better than last week. I can't wait for episode number 5. Hope they go into detail on some of the stuff that happened in this one because I was confused for some of them. Amon is still a scary ass bitch. I am not in this fictional world. I'm afraid of the guy. Imagine that. I mean, that's just... He's scary. I still like Korra. She's pretty cool. Bolin obviously has a crush on her. We've seen this before. Mako has a crush on Asami, and Asami has a crush on Mako. I think Korra likes Mako. So there's a conflict there. And yeah, basically the episode. Tell me what you guys thought about the episode. I'm sorry this is so late. I will try to get episode number 5 on exactly as after it comes out. Excuse me. So leave a comment down below about what you thought of the episode. What do you think about the firebending thing with Korra? Like, she's uses it too much. I want to see... Actually, I want to do this. Since she's from the Water Tribe, I want to see Katara show up in Republic City and teach her how to use the waterbending from mid-air, just like she can. Because she uses waterbending like crazy. She can use bending you. She can bend you. I don't know. Like, I just hope that Katara is seen again helping her actually get better at waterbending. So yeah, that's basically the episode. Thumbs up for Korra. She's awesome. And for her admitting fear. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. This has been SoresanCrockxen. Keep training and mastering the element that you enjoy the most. And I'll catch you for episode number 5. Later.